This is the most important choice you need to make in 2026. Before you sit two of the most promising altcoins, both claiming a place in the portfolio of a serious investor. On one side, XRP, the royal coin of the crypto world. It already has real banks using it. Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan know about it. On the other side, HBAR, the hermit that few understand, but which Google, IBM, and Dell quietly accumulate. XRP is trading around 2. HBAR is 0.09. XRP already went through court battles with the SEC. HBAR's nightmare is fading into the past. Over the next 15 minutes, I'll break down every aspect, from technology to economics, from regulation to real use cases. I won't give you investment advice. I'll simply give you information so you can decide where to invest in 2026. Prepare yourself. This will be fascinating. Part 1. Architecture and Technology. Let's start with the foundation. Technology. XRP and Ripple Ledger. XRP runs on what's called the Ripple Consensus Ledger. This isn't a traditional blockchain. It's a hybrid built on federated consensus. There are 30-40 validating nodes in the network that confirm transactions. Confirmation speed is 3-5 seconds. Throughput capacity is around 1/500 transactions per second. That's fast. That's cheap. For payments, it's ideal. But here's the thing. That's all it does. Payments. XRP is a specialized tool, HBAR and Hashgraph technology. HBAR uses a completely different approach Hashgraph. This is the patented technology developed by Lehman Baird, Hedera co-founder. Hedera holds exclusive rights to it. What's the essence? Instead of blocks that create queues and delays, Hashgraph uses a data structure called a directed acyclic graph. Essentially, every new transaction knows about all previous ones, creating a tree-like information structure. Result: 0 transactions per second versus 1/500 for XRP. And this with full finality, irreversible confirmation in seconds, not several seconds. Plus, energy consumption is lower than XRP. Why does this matter? When you pay with XRP now, you pay 0.5 cents. When the network is congested, fees rise. With HBAR, this is physically impossible. Fees are strictly fixed at 0.001. Moreover, they're calculated in dollars, not tokens, so price volatility doesn't affect your costs. Real-world example. Imagine you make a microtransaction of 1 cent through X payments, for example. With XRP, you lose 50% to fees. With HBAR, you lose 1%. This isn't a mathematical difference, it's a fundamental difference in the system's economy. Let me be crystal clear. HBAR's fixed fee structure is revolutionary for microtransactions and mass adoption. This is why companies like Ubisoft and McLaren Racing prefer it. Part 2. What's happening in regulation? Now let's talk about money and power. Regulation. XRP's history with the SEC. In December 2020, the SEC sued Ripple, claiming XRP is a security investment contract, not currency. Ripple got no warning, no safe harbor. The SEC simply declared war. 5 years of litigation, millions spent on lawyers. Exchanges delisted XRP. Investors fled. Price crashed. In August 2024, Judge Anitza Torres ruled. 2024 Judge Anitza Torres ruled. 2024 Judge Anitza Torres ruled. 2024 Judge Anitza Torres ruled is not a security when sold retail. But several things remained. Ripple cannot directly sell XRP to institutions in the US. This restriction exists permanently. XRP remains in a legal cloud tomorrow. The SEC could reclassify it differently. XRP got relief, but not full clarity. HBAR's history with regulation. HBAR never had SEC problems. Why? Because from the beginning, 2018, Hedera designed the system to avoid these problems. First, HBAR isn't sold to investors as a way to profit from Hedera's development, like what happened with XRP. HBAR is simply gas, fuel that you pay to use network services, exactly like paying gas fees in Ethereum with ETH. Second, Hedera has a governing council, 25 plus companies, Google, IBM, Dell, Standard Bank, backing the network. This reduces the risk of being perceived as a Ponzi scheme. Third, Hedera publicly states it complies with ISO 20022 standard, the data exchange standard for financial institutions. The SEC understands and respects this. 2026 forecast. XRP might get additional clarity if the Clarity Act passes, but it's not guaranteed. Policy can change. HBAR, meanwhile, moves further every day away from potential reclassification. It has no history of problems. It has approval from the world's largest companies. That's worth money. Part 3. Real-world use and partnerships. Now, let's get to the interesting part. The real world. XRP. Payments and banks. XRP was created to solve one problem. International payments take days and cost a fortune. SWIFT. Ripple implemented on-demand liquidity, ODL. The idea, a bank in the Philippines wants to send money to Mexico. Instead of using SWIFT, 3-5 days, -5100 fee, the bank sends pesos in exchange for XRP. The XRP instantly transfers to the Mexican bank, which exchanges XRP for pesos. It works. It's really being used. There are 200 plus payment corridors. But here's the problem. It's still just payments. One function. 1RP is a specialized tool, HBA. Enterprise, future. Hedera isn't a payment system. It's a platform for building payment systems, data networks, asset management, real-world usage examples. Google Cloud uses Hedera to run private blockchains for its clients. This isn't marketing, it's core operations. IBM built a supply chain tracking system on Hedera, goods tracked from factory to store in real time. Dell uses Hedera to verify equipment and parts authenticity. Boeing verifies authenticity of aviation components on Hedera. Avery Dennison, 1 billion labels per year. 4 brands, verified through Hedera. Ubisoft launched gaming content on Hedera. McLaren Racing, as we discussed, integrating NFTs and fan content on Hedera. This isn't plans. This is operational activity right now. Scale divergence. XRP serves 200 payment corridors. HBAR serves tens of thousands of private nodes, private blockchains, and verification systems worldwide. XRP is considered a financial asset. HBAR is considered a tool, like an API. This is a fundamental difference. One token is needed for payments. The other is essential for the economy of data and assets. Think about it this way. XRP is like specialized shipping containers. HBAR is like the entire logistics infrastructure. Part 4. Economics and Tokenomics. Money doesn't lie. Let's look at the economics. Circulation and dilution. XRP, 58% of all tokens in circulation. Ripple holds 46% in frozen accounts. Each month, Ripple can sell tokens into the market. This creates constant downward price pressure. XRP investors face a risk. Tomorrow, Ripple releases billions of tokens and the price crashes. HBAR, 85% of all tokens already in circulation. This means inflation is frozen. The Hedera Council holds the remaining 15%, but this is locked in a transparent schedule. No surprises. Practical implication. If you own HBAR, you're protected from dilution. With XRP, You're at the mercy of Ripple board decisions. Valuation and price. XRP. Historical all-time high 3.4. Now 1.7. Over 8 years, the price grew 90%. That's not impressive. HBA. Historical all-time high 0.65, 2021. Now 0.092. That's an 85% drop from the peak. But remember, this drop happened when nobody believed in the project. Now that Google and IBM joined, now that McLaren signed a contract, we're close to new highs. Upside calculation. If HBAR returns to its previous high of 0.65, that's plus 560% from current price. If HBAR reaches 1, realistic if X Payment signs a contract, that's plus 900%. If HBAR rises to 5, as some analysts predict with mass adoption, that's plus 5,000%. XRP, meanwhile, is trading at 80% of its all-time high. There's still potential, but it's limited. The math is stark. Part 5. ISO 20022 and the future. Now, something almost nobody talks about, the ISO 20022 standard. What is it? It's the international standard for exchanging financial messages between institutions. SWIFT has been used since the 1970s. ISO 20022 is the new standard that all central banks and major institutions are transitioning to. Why does this change everything? When a new standard takes effect for $500 billion in infrastructure, it means technologies that can integrate with that standard most easily gain an advantage. XRP can work with ISO 20022, but XRP is specialized. You can't use XRP to manage data, tokenize assets, or do anything else. HBAR. Built into ISO 20022 from the start. More than that, Hedera isn't just compatible, she fully meets the standard's requirements, and she can do everything. Payments, data, assets, everything. Forecast. In 2026-2027, we'll see a wave of ISO 20022 integration into bank and central bank systems. Those systems that are scalable and multifunctional will gain a huge advantage. HBAR is a platform. XRP is a tool. When we enter the era of platforms, scalable solutions beat specialized ones. This is the paradigm shift nobody's talking about. Part 6. Risks and reality. Be honest with yourself. There are risks. XRP risks. The SEC can change its mind. Policy changes. A new administration could reclassify XRP differently. Token dilution by Ripple creates price pressure. Bank expansion requires banks. Banks move slowly. It could take 10 plus years. HBAR risks. The Hedera Council, that's also centralization. If they decide, they can influence the network. Adoption is happening slower than expected. Companies talk, but not all truly use it. Competition from other platforms, Ethereum, Solana. If there's a crypto crash, both tokens fall. Verdict on risks. XRP has known, predictable risks. It's regulation and dilution. HBAR has unknown risks. Will adoption be fast enough? Will the market be ready? But unknown risks can be rewards if they resolve positively. I'll take the unknown risk with higher upside over the known risk with lower upside. Conclusion. Which one to choose? So, which one to choose? XRP or HBAR? If you're a stability-focused, short-term investor, 1-2 years, get XRP. It's already integrated into systems. There are working payment corridors. If regulation becomes favorable, price can go to 5-10. If you're a future-focused, long-term investor, 5+ years, get HBAR. Better technology, more powerful partners, exponential potential. but it requires patience. If you're a smart investor, get both. They don't have to be enemies. They're parts of one future. XRP serves payments, HBAR serves everything else. My personal take, in 2026, main focus should be on HBAR. Why? Because the entire world is transitioning to digital assets, data, and blockchain. HBAR is the platform for this transition. XRP is specialized transport for payments. Platforms always cost more than components. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss analysis of other assets. And write in the comments, are you choosing XRP or HBAR? See you soon.